Hey guys, my name is Sultan. Today I'm back with another video, and today I am bringing you 5 simple steps to retiring early. Let's get straight into it. So what is retirement? Retirement is pretty much an aspect of having enough money to fund your expenses so you can retire at a young age, or early. I mean, at any point you wish, I guess, but preferably before 65, because I presume that is what it is at this moment, 65. So what is required to retire early? This aspect is pretty much having enough income to fund your expenses, or having enough money readily available to fund your expenses. First step to retiring early. The first step to retiring early is by doing what most of the current millionaires do, and we can learn from them, and that is having multiple sources of income. This is essential simply because having a 9-to-5, having a day-to-day job is most likely not going to help you to become financially free, simply because of the income that you make from this is very, very low. So most millionaires, most billionaires out there have about 7 sources of income. So 7 sources of income could be passive income, the stock market, having multiple jobs, but just enough income from multiple places so you're pretty much guaranteed to always make money even at older age. Now the second step to retiring early is by saving from a very young age. There's something known as compound interest, and this is a very, very powerful thing. If you save from a very young age, your money can continue to grow just due to inflation in the market, in this world. You know, £1 30 years ago isn't worth the same as it is now. That's the same as compound interest. The more money you can save now, compound interest is going to help your money grow without you having to do anything. So the younger you are, the more time you have for your money to continue to grow before you do retire. So you want to start saving from a young age because you have a lot more time. You have a lot more time to also work, so that way you can build the foundation of your income and you can grow this income substantially. Now the third thing you need to do to retire early is by following the FIRE movement. This is something I've known for a while now, but the FIRE movement is financial freedom, retire early. That is what the FIRE movement is. But to expand on this without going into too much detail, there are about 5 types of FIRE movement. You know, some of them are, there's one called the Fat FIRE. So this is when you really have a high amount of expenses. So that way you know that when you're older, you're going to spend a lot more money. So you're going to also save a lot more money to cover this. There is also the traditional one, which is most likely what I'm going to follow. So the traditional FIRE movement is when you save enough money. Your expenses aren't too high, but you save enough money where it covers your expenses at whatever age you're going to retire. Let me show you an example. So if you have an expense of about 40,000 a year, you need to times this by 25. When you times it by 25, the value you get, you're going to be taking out 4% or less. The less you take, the more money you have to grow in the market, wherever it's invested in. So if you take about 4% per year, and that is what you live on. So 40,000, if you times about 25, that gives you $1 million. And that is the value that you need to save up, that you need to have invested. You need to have $1 million invested so that mill can work for you, and you take out 4%. And as the market continues to grow, because you have about a generous 5 to 10% return every single year, you pretty much do not have to work to get this money back. So you invest $1 million and that money continues to just work for you, and you get that 40,000 back every single year without working. Third thing is you need to live a frugal lifestyle. So what does this mean? This means you need to live in a cheap, conserved way. You're not gonna be a person who spends too much money, because the more you spend, the higher your expense, and the higher your expense, the more you need to save. So this means just cutting out things you don't really need. For example, cutting out eating out every single time, every single month, or every single week. You don't want to do that because, of course, that is very expensive. You know, avoiding buying coffee from, coffee shops, because those are extremely expensive. Because if you make yours is probably going to cost about 10, 20p than you buying a coffee from, all these expensive stores for £3, £4. You want to cut down your lifestyle. You want to eat moderately. You want to spend moderately. You don't want to, you know, overdo anything. So that way your expense is going to be low. And if your expense is low, you times that value by 25. And if you do that, that way you have less of an amount to save. And if you can save and invest that amount, you get that money back, and you can retire even earlier than you need to, simply because you can save that money much earlier. Now, the next step forward is you need to begin to wake up early. So this isn't exactly something essential, but it is at the same time. But let me tell you why. You need to wake up early. In our lifetime, we sleep for so long. I'm not sure what this value is, but I'm pretty sure we sleep for over 30% of our life, or something even higher than that. But we sleep for so long where that time can be used for greater things. Most millionaires out there at this moment wake up at 5 a.m, wake up at 6 before the whole world is awake. What does this mean? They can put in a lot more work. They can do a lot more in that 2 to 3 hours before the whole world is awake. And when you do this every single day for years and years and years, you have to put in years of work that some people haven't been able to do. The more you wake up early, the more you can put in. The more you can put in, the more you get out. So if you can wake up early, you know, work on your other sources of income that will make you more money, then that way you're steps ahead of everyone else. If you do want to see different sources of income that can make you passive income, do let me know down in the comments, and I will release a video on this shortly. The final step to retiring early is you need to save at a very young age. This age that we are at makes us young. We have more energy to work, and we have more time to, you know, use the power of compound interest to make money that we don't have to really work for. Saving at a very young age is essential, simply because if you save up £20,000 at this current moment, and due to compound interest, you let that grow for the next 10 years, you'll make a lot more money than if you're 30, 40 and trying to do the exact same thing, because you don't have as much time for that to grow, because you don't have 20 years, 30 years to begin saving from the age of 30, simply because by the time you plan on retiring, you would be 60 years old or 70 years old. But if you're 20 or 15, then you can still save for another 30 years, 40 years in the market, in the stock market, or whatsoever business you have, or, you know, being a estate agent, just something, right? And the more time you have doing this, the more you can accumulate. That way, that's the key thing to why people are able to retire at the age of 30, 40, because they've started this from a very long time. Of course, some people are lucky. Some people can win the lottery at the age of 12 and just sorted, but this is 1 in a billion, you get me? So obviously, we need to be realistic with ourselves and just begin to start doing this at a very young age. If you are older, it's still possible, but you just need to start immediately. Start saving up, start putting your money into to work, so you can begin to make money that you're not working for. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was quick and short to get straight to the point, so you guys can learn exactly how to become financially free at a very young age. If you do enjoy the video, do like and subscribe. Don't forget to go down in the comments if you do wish to begin investing. There will be a link below to begin investing, and you can get a stock of up to £100 for free if you begin investing in Trading 212. Also, if you would like to know what book to read, you know, to kind of invest in yourself, there's also a link below where you can buy this book called Money, and it teaches you things on tax, what to invest in, the stock market, everything you need to know so you can be smart with money. But that aside, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do stay safe and take care.